into the community and do things outside of those points to impact the community. And so we did something a little different in recognizing one of our own. So we'll get to that part later. But when we do this, we always take the proceeds from our events and we give it to a nonprofit. We adopt a nonprofit. And again, a nonprofit that supports women and children. And so that has always been my mission. I am the youngest of 7 children. And my mom is here today. Mom, can you please stand? Charlotte Jackson. You look at the decorations on the table. I think you can do better than that. Thank you. All the decorations on the table are courtesy of my mom. My mom had a Victorian tea house downtown Detroit, and it was torn down when they put MGM Grand up. And it was then that I learned how to set the table. Well, maybe before then. I was in finishing school for 4 years before my mom started her tea room. But she had a tea room in downtown Detroit, and she would host parties for little girls, tea parties. And so it was then I learned how to entertain outside of the books and put on tea parties. And my mother would have me there teaching etiquette at the tea parties. And so when the tea room closed, I decided as a legacy to my mother to have this event, and so we've been doing it now for 16 years. So thank you, Mom, for planting that seed and continuing to grow this event. At this time, I'm going to do a very quick etiquette lesson because we want to educate you and make sure that you know the proper etiquette for tea, and shortly after that, we'll have the Livonia Youth Theater group come up and perform, and then we'll go ahead and eat. You guys okay with that? Okay, so if someone can please bring me a napkin. Can I get a napkin from someone in the house? Okay, I'll take it. I'm going to come to the center of the stage, and we're going to do a really quick lesson of etiquette so my mom can see where all her money was invested in all of my teachings over the years. Okay, so most of you have already started to eat them because I hear clinking. So I'm going to stand here. But the first thing you do, if I can have everybody in the room stand up, please. Everybody in the room stand up. I'm going to give you the first form of etiquette for ladies. Before you take your seat, I need a chair. Can I have your chair?
Up here.
Okay. I think I can talk loud enough without this. We don't have a cordless mic.
It doesn't matter.
So before you sit, ladies, find the back of the chair with your right leg. So you find the back of the chair, you touch the chair with your right leg. Can everybody do that? Touch the chair with your right leg, right, to make sure it's there before you sit down. How many of you have ever been in school and a boy has taken your chair and pulled it back and go to sit down and fall? Has anybody ever had that happen with a boy in a suit? I have. Yeah, there you go. So maybe they don't do any of that anymore. So you take your leg, you find your chair with your right leg, and then you have a dress on, you scoot down, brush your dress, and slide back. You do that? Now, your back should never, ever, ever touch the back of the chair. So let me turn. You use your buttocks, right, to go all the way, scoot all the way back to the chair, and that keeps you from doing this, right? So if you push your buttocks all the way back, it keeps your back straight. You see that? That's the first form of etiquette, having taken your seat. And we don't do this. Right? You slide, sit. Slide, sit. Got it? Okay. The next thing we do
when you prepare to eat, the first thing you do is take your napkin, all right? It's a nice square, all right? We take it, fold it like a rectangle, all right? So in my generation, we had a game called Pac-Man. So you think of a Pac-Man eating your belly, so your napkin should be open towards your belly, like that. So it closes up like that. Pretend like it's eating your belly, right? And the reason you do your napkin like that, like me, I have on lipstick. So if I wipe my mouth, I use the inside of the napkin. And where does the lipstick go? Inside the napkin, right? So I have this white skirt on. If I just did this and placed it back, what would happen? What would happen? It would get on my skirt. So you use the inside, wipe your mouth, fold it back like that, place it in your bag. All right? Does everybody have that? Let's see you try it. So take your napkin, you sat down at the table. Over your napkins, we fold it like a, I heard somebody, like a rectangle, there we go. And then we place it, the opening towards our, ooh, you guys are good students. And then you have it, okay? Now, if you get up from the table, what do you think you do with your napkin? What do you think? I heard put it on your chair. Where on your chair? Where would you place your napkin?
I would do it on the seat, but I'm sure you're going to see the back.
So, again, there's two ways you can do it. If you leave, and you have different people that teach you different ways, but if you're in a restaurant, and you're at a very high-end restaurant, and you're not done with your food, you put it on the back of your chair. It lets the waiter know that you're coming back, right? If you're done, you can place it on the seat. Now for me, I'm like, people have been sitting there. I don't want to put my napkin on my mouth when somebody's had their bottom there, right? So, but the good news to that is, again, you're using the inside of the napkin, so the part that touches the seat never touches your bottom. Does that make sense? Okay. Will we place the napkin on the table?
Never.
Who said never? Can you tell us why not?
One, it's unsightly,
Mm-hmm.
for one, and the table is not supposed to have anything that's been used.
Exactly. So you wouldn't want to see anyone to see a soiled napkin on the table, right? So that's why you always place it in your chair or in your chair on the back. Okay? Now, the last piece I want to give you is, people are always confused when you go to a fancy restaurant and they have 3 knives, 4 forks, 6 knives, 12 spoons. They're like, what do I do? So the easiest way to learn is to work your way out in. You start with the fork that's furthest out, and the other utensil that's furthest out, right? However, we have to learn what utensil goes on the right and what utensil goes on the left. And I hope it's correct today. Mom, is it correct today? Are the utensils correct today? Yes. Yes, okay, good. So, raise your hand if you're left-handed. We got a few lefties, all right. So most of us are right hand, right? And when you cut a knife, you use which hand? Your right. So your knife should always be on the right. That's easiest to remember. So the knife is on the right. And the utensil that accompanies the knife should be anybody know? Yes.
The spoon.
The spoon, exactly. It should be set on the table, right? So it should be the spoon. Now think of it this way. If you're cutting something, you use a knife and a fork, right? So knife on the right, fork on the left, right? Okay. And forks are always by themselves. Okay? So, spoon, knife, and fork. Now, the knife should be the utensil that's closest to your plate, but you guys don't have plates. All right? So it'll be the knife and then the spoon. Does that make sense? All right. And then every other utensil, every other goblet or wine, it's going to be to your, what do you reach to pick things up with?
Right.
You're right. Is that easy? Okay. That's our little table etiquette. No matter where you are, that's basic table setting. Now, today you have tea. Can I get your empty cup right here? And it's full. Okay. So you have a cup. When you're eating or drinking, you should never hear this. All right? All right, if you're eating, or this. Right? Scraping your plate with your utensils. So with the tea, do you think we should drink tea like this if it's really, really hot? Can we do this? Can we do this? No. Why not? Have you seen people, raise your hand, have you seen people do it? Raise your hand. Right? Does that look good? I mean, if you're tasting it, no. Stir. Do you hear anything? Do you hear that? And after you stir, you sip. Sip. Now you see people do this. Okay. It's not necessary, but it's okay. You don't need to have your pinky out when you take your tea. But you put your index finger and your thumb, just like this, on your teeth. All right? You brace it really well, your index finger and your thumb. You take it and you sip. Now, do you do this? Can I hear you? I mean, have you heard people do that? Raise your hand. They might be sitting next to you, you don't want to raise your hand. Okay, I get it. So, no slurping, just sip. All right? All right. So those are your basic tea etiquettes. Oh, let me give you the last piece. I'm sorry. Your tea bag. Your tea bag. And again, depending on where you are, or what restaurant you're in, they give you, what is it called now? There's a container where you actually put your tea bag in, right? But if you don't have it, it's okay to place it on the side. But typically leave it in your cup because, again, it's like waste visible to the people at the table. Okay? All right? So that's our little tea etiquette for today. Anybody have any questions? So we do have a few gentlemen in the room. And just for the gentlemen that are in the room, when the ladies are coming to your table, I know all of you probably already know this. I mean, for the mere fact that you're at a tea, you probably know. Yes. Gabrielle. Okay. Okay, again, let me show you how you hold it. So Gabriella's question was, how do you hold the teacup? Can you put your pointer finger up like this? Your pointer, right? You put your pointer finger inside the teacup, right? Put it in there like this, and then you use your thumb like this. Place your thumb on top, and it braces the cup for you. See that? And then you place all the other fingers right up on the, so it keeps it straight. Okay? So for my gentlemen, when a lady's entering the chair, do you let her touch the chair when she comes to the table?
No.
For my 4 gentlemen that are in the house?
No, you don't.
4. Did I get a no?
Yes, you did.
Absolutely no. Okay. And you looking at me like, why not? Is that just your straight face? Okay. Yeah. So, okay, it's your straight face. So, when a woman enters the table, approaches the table, then a gentleman immediately gets up. And ladies, allow a gentleman to be a gentleman. I have 3 daughters. It took a minute for my teenage daughter. I'm independent. I don't need him to get my chair. No. You let gentlemen be gentlemen. Okay, so let the gentleman get your chair. He pulls it out for you, and when he pulls it out, that's why it's important for you to use your right leg to find your seat, brace your skirt, and slide back. And then the gentleman waits, and he helps to push her in. Okay? All that sound good? All right, so that is our tea etiquette. Any more questions? Yes?
What do you do with your purse?
What do you do with your purse? Good question. So if you have a purse, some people have a belief that you should never put your purse on the floor. So for those of you that don't, they now have these little things that you can clip onto the table, and you can hang your purse on a clip, right? Or you can put it in the back of your seat. You can, if you don't want to put your table under the chair on the floor, then you place your purse in the back of your seat, at the back. You should never hang your purse on the back of the chair. 2 reasons. You're not watching it, so if somebody comes by and decides to take it. And 3, it disrupts the wait staff. Yep. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, anyone else? No? So I guess we can go ahead and start soon. Thank you all. We will come back shortly with a performance by a youth theater.
It's your man, the one and only MrSan44Man. We're live right now. As you can see, the young lady was basically giving some,
Oh, thank you. Look at that, Jim.
basically giving some etiquette season, which young people need out here, especially the young women. And I'm so glad that they called me down here and wanted me to come down here and film this because, you know, this is something that we really need to happen with our young ladies out here. They all over the place. They're not getting things done. And I'm going to see if I can get an interview with the mother, okay? Because she started this, and we need to start with them. I'm going to approach her and ask her right now. Excuse me. My name is MrSan44Man. MrSan44Man. I'm a video producer and radio show host. I just want to know if I could speak to you and your mother. We're live right now, and ask what made you want to start this. Yeah, we can. Would you like to do it afterwards? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do it afterwards. We'll give them a chance to take a look at my car and everything. And what we're going to do is we're going to...
I appreciate it.
We're going to get on down here, and I'm going to get with the rest of the Boudet, you know, and we're going to do us a show in a minute. And I'm going to go with them. I'm going to get the what's the name together for the interview. Everybody right now is getting ready to get served, so I'm going to cut it right now, and I'll get back with y'all. You're tuned in to Detroit Raw Live with your man, the one and only MrSan44Man. I'll get back with you.